Over 40 million, it's probably closer to 50 million adults in this country have anxiety disorder. That's what close to 20% of the population.
So what you might not realize is that we all have anxiety at times, and it is normal. So this comic artist focuses on the feeling in hopes that others realize that they are not alone. At times you may feel one way on the outside and another on the inside. It says how people see my life, how I see my life.
Yeah, So Ye is the name of that artist, and I've been looking at some of the work. It's good, and it has, well, good messages, startling messages. I don't know, so let's broaden out this discussion a little bit with Dr. Ann Burdzy. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Born and raised in this area. Would you agree with the cartoon, well, comic artist there, that anxiety, some forms of it, can be a motivator?
Absolutely, it can motivate us. Insight into our anxiety is very important. If we think about anxiety as a protective factor that can help, when we're anxious, sometimes it's an indicator that our well-being is threatened in some way.
So that's a natural instinct.
That is a natural instinct. That's we see that across across all individuals have this characteristic, and so it is very normal, and we see it in the animal kingdom as well. So it is a natural part of what it means to be a person and a human being. So it's very important to normalize anxiety, because a lot of times, especially with all of the pressure and our experiences, feeling anxious and might make you feel like there's something wrong with you, or there's something not quite right, and that can have a negative impact on your mental health as well.
But what we should do is identify what the triggers are that get us in that space.
Absolutely.
Right?
So the first step is, if your anxiety becomes too pervasive, debilitating, problematic, and it gets in the way of your functioning, that can be a problem. So identifying what triggers your anxiety and what it feels like, those initial steps, what thoughts are going through your head, how does it feel physically in your body, especially for little kids, like noticing, do you feel it in your tummy, in your chest, in your muscles? That's really important.
If it gets that bad, you almost need professional help. But there's a lot of people can't afford to go to a psychologist or a psychiatrist, stuff like. What can you do?
Absolutely, that's a great question. There's so many things you can do at home and as part of your day-to-day life. That we call them coping strategies, self-care techniques. One thing is to slow down, breathe. Deep breathing works. Mindfulness, meditation strategies work. Yoga's a great one. Getting out of the house, taking a walk, enjoying nature.
I like when you say, and you've said this before, write it down. Put it in a journal. Even write it down on a piece of paper. What triggered you? What makes you anxious?
Yes, and that's a great one. It helps you process your thoughts and feelings, and then see it on the page, so it's not rattling around in your head. So writing it down, or or processing with another person. It doesn't have to necessarily be a therapist if you don't have the means. But if you have a friend, a family member, a loved one, a teacher, you could process your feelings, notice what's going on for you.
Admit it.
But once you identify what those triggers are, then what do you do with that? You just try to isolate yourself from them, or do you just, that way you prepare yourself when you know you're going to be around that trigger?
That's a great question. If you're noticing your triggers, you can, exactly right, prepare yourself in some way. Take breaths, use your coping strategies, find mechanisms that work for you. Anxiety is different for everyone, and different strategies help you feel better.
Does that blowing into a paper bag really work?
I mean, I don't recommend it.
But you do deep breathing, you do recommend.
Deep breathing is different than breathing into a paper bag.
Well, they do it in the movies and everything.
Well,
They do, yeah.
That's where I saw it.
Yeah, it's just taking slow, deep breaths.
Don't
panic.
That mindful meditation, that actually does work on me.
Oh, when do you meditate?
Sometimes you can get an app and listen to this, like different forms of music or water lapping up against the shore, and just lay on your back, close your eyes, and do you do that?
Yes.
Yeah, see?
Yes, it's very nice. I think that's a great, some of these apps are really helpful, and a lot of them are free.
Yeah.
So
thank you, doctor.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.